Hey, beautiful people! Listen, I remember a few years ago, I had a referral for someone whose image was being used on this dating site. She was like, I didn't give them permission to use this image. It's one that I just posted, and now they're using it to advertise their app, and I'm not happy about it. So I do what I do, right? I get to digging and investigating, and come to find out, she did agree to it. When she signed up for that dating app, in the terms and conditions, there was language in there that allowed them to use any images that she uploaded, basically any way that they wanted to. Terms and conditions. That thing that 99.99% of all apps, websites, software make you agree to before using their stuff, and that you, in fact, actually agree to without even pretending to click the link to review said terms and conditions before saying yes. That thing. So this was apparently the case with these thousands of users that downloaded the Faceapp to see what their older self will look like. Listen, I know you come here for the tea, but not just any tea, right? You come here for the legal tea, and I got you. Welcome to the Legal Tea, where we discuss pop culture from a legal view. I'm brand attorney LaKanya Murray, and I help entrepreneurs throughout the United States own their genius by protecting their brand through trademarks, copyrights, and contracts. Listen, we got a good one for you today, so let's get started. A few weeks ago, I noticed like an exceedingly number of people posting pictures of older people. And at first I was like, oh, that's so cute. Look at them. They look just like their mom. And then I was like, wait, what is this? Why are all these people? Who is that? You know. And then some people I was just like, oh, today's Tuesday. She did something different with her hair. Because it really wasn't that much of a difference. And then I learned that they were using this app called Faceapp to age themselves to see what their older self will look like. And I was like, nope, the devil is a lie, because I know what my mom will look like, my auntie, my grandma, and my great-grandmother when they were alive. And that was definitely not it, right? That was not it. So I just said hard pass to that. And anyway, about a day or two later, everyone that had downloaded the app, now you had all these people saying, oh, did you know that app was made by the Russians and they're going to steal all of our stuff and we're going to delete the app and oh my gosh. And I'm like, all the Russians? Like, really? Like, not just certain person in Russia, but like the Russians, like all of them are trying to steal our privacy. That's a whole nother issue, right? So all of a sudden people are worried about their privacy and their likeness being used without their consent. But you know what? Y'all come here for the legal tea, right? So I'm going to let you sip on this. The time to worry about all of that was not after you downloaded the app. It was before. Those terms and conditions that you agree to without even reading them, that is a legal contract. A legally binding contract. With contracts, what you're saying is one person agrees to do one thing while the other person agrees to do another. Quid pro quo. That was like one of the things that we learned in law school, that Latin term, quid pro quo, which means something for something. So in exchange for you downloading this app, they're going to want some stuff from you. And if you want to know what they want from you, what do you need to do? Y'all tell me. Read the terms and conditions, people. You can't agree to do something, then say that you didn't agree simply because you didn't read what you agreed to. Like, that's not how that works. Did that even make sense to y'all? Like, I'm going to say it again because it didn't really make sense to me. You can't agree to do something and then say that you didn't agree to it simply because you didn't read what you agreed to do in the first place. That's not how that works. And with the Faceapp, I'm going to tell you what people were concerned about. You grant Faceapp a perpetual, irrevocable, non-exclusive, royalty-free, worldwide, fully paid, transferable, sub-licensed license to use, reproduce, modify, adapt, publish, translate, create derivative works from, to distribute, publicly perform, and display under your user content. And your user content, as defined by them, is any of the photos that you upload, any of the videos that you upload, the username that you use, your name that you use, your voice, like all that stuff is considered user content. So all that stuff is free game, people. Come on. And then you also, in addition to that, you grant Faceapp consent to use that user content regardless of whether or not it includes your name. So if you have a picture that has your name on it, it don't matter. You can't say, oh, it shows exactly who I am. They don't care. You gave them permission to do that. To use your likeness, your voice, your persona, sufficient to indicate they can use your stuff to indicate who you are. To say that, hey, this person uses this app, they can do that. And by using the services, you agree that the user content may be used for commercial purposes. And you further acknowledge that Faceapp's use of the user content for commercial purposes will not result in any injury to you or any person you authorize to act on its behalf. They cutting out all the claims that you can give, that you can think of in these terms and conditions that you guys don't use. And not only are you giving them permission to use your stuff and giving them permission to use it commercially, and then you agree that if they use it commercially, you're not going to be hurt, meaning that, oh, my boss saw this and now I got fired. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. You're also saying, it also says that Faceapp may place such content in their advertisements and in their promotions without any additional compensation to you. Does that sound good? Is that what you signed up for when you were trying to see what your 60-year-old self was going to look like? Or in some of these cases, they look like they're like 120 because it aged them really bad. I have a friend who did a whole video on that, and I will drop that in the show notes so you can see it because it is hilarious, right? But check it. Yeah. So this means that all the stuff that you uploaded, your photos, your name, your username, they can use that stuff. They can use it on their homepage. They can use it in their advertisement, in their commercials, and there ain't a darn thing that you can do about it. Or is there? Wait. What if we delete it now? Oops, my bad. I didn't want you to have all this. I'm going to delete it now. Does that sound right to you? Let me just tell you, the answer is no. For all people who thought it was a trick question and thought that you could really delete your way out of something, the answer to that is no. Here's something else for you to sip on. In the terms and conditions of the Faceapp, as user content removed from the services may continue to be stored by Faceapp, including without limitation in order to comply with certain legal obligations. So they can keep your stuff for legal obligations, but that's not the only reason that they can keep it. They don't say what those other reasons are, but they're just saying we might use it for this, but they can use it for any other reason because it's stored on their server. So you go in there and you say, oh, I'm just going to delete this real quick, and now that's going to cancel everything out. That's not how it works. And that's not, if you think about it, that's not how it should work. If you enter into a contract and you decide later on down the road that, you know what, I really don't like the terms of this contract. I'm really not you know what? I just bought this car. I'm just giving an example. You know, you buy a car and you have a contract that says that you got to pay this and the interest on it is this, yada, yada, yada. And you just drive the car and you keep it for like a year or two. You're like, you know what? This was not a good deal. I should not have bought this car. I'm just going to tear this contract up. And magically, all your responsibilities go away. No, that's not how that works. And that's not how it works with the deleting of the app and removing your content from that platform as well. Once you agree to something, you have agreed to it. So you need to keep that in mind before you just start clicking yes to I've read the terms and conditions without reading the terms and conditions. And here's something else for you to sip on. If the Faceapp terms and conditions bother you, you might want to check the terms and conditions of your favorite social media platform and all these other apps that you're reading, because I can tell you that the language that's in those terms and conditions are not that outrageous. They're not that unusual. So if that really bothers you, you might want to check some of your privacy settings in the apps and social media platforms that you're already using. I'm just saying. All right. So our top 3 takeaways. What do you think we got from today's lesson? The first thing I want you to know is that terms and conditions are it's a legally binding contract. It's not some inconvenient hurdle that's just standing between you and this app you're trying to download. It's like telling you what you have to do in order to use this service and what they can do since they're giving you permission to use this service. You don't want to skip that. It's not an inconvenient hurdle. You might want to read those things. Number 2, takeaway. The time to ask questions about what you've given up in exchange for using this service is not after you've downloaded it. It's not after you clicked OK. It's before. I guarantee you it's before. You might want to say, this is nice, but what do I need to do? What do they want from me? And just read those long, boring conditions. The terms and conditions for the Faceapp, I don't even know if they were a page long. They might have been 2 pages. It wasn't like page after page after page of a bunch of gibberish. It was just maybe like a page or 2. Something that you could have read or, skimmed through just to see what you are giving up or what they want from you. I think that can be important, especially if you have concerns about privacy. And the third thing that the third takeaway from today's video is that read the terms and conditions, people. Read the terms and conditions. Read the terms and conditions. Did I say that enough times? Do y'all get the point? Are we going to start reading our terms and conditions? I hope that answer is yes. Listen, rate this video and let me know what you think about it. And I think that contracts are something that we need to talk about a little more. Make sure that you subscribe and you have your notifications on. Next week, I'm going to explore the Tfue ordeal from the gaming world and what makes a bad contract. And I think that video is pretty fitting considering that Fortnite just had their first World Cup and the finals, I think, were last night, and a 16-year-old just became $3 million richer, right? So we're going to talk about contracts because sometimes you have these people that come on YouTube, they play games and they get sponsors or they get someone that helps them get them into more places. And they do that not just out of the kindness of their heart. They want something in exchange for it. So what happens when you enter into an agreement like that and then you outgrow the person that brings you in, but you're still obligated to perform for a few more years? Do you get to just hit delete on that? Let's talk about it next week. Until next time, keep building your brand and owning your genius. Take care.